Well, here it is, the Taigen Panzer tank. I already own a Walker Bulldog Pro version tank, and when I opened up the box initially for this particular tank, I was a little bit uncertain about it, because straight away I did notice it was actually a fair bit smaller than the Walker Bulldog. It was also lighter. I also noticed that it had a low ground clearance, which I thought may be an issue or problem over uneven ground. So if I go straight to the shortcomings that I found from my point of view, well, the tank comes with a noisy, non-proportional smoke unit. You would have thought, but with this spec and the way it's been advertised, it would have a proportional smoke unit, but unfortunately that's not the case. I also noticed that after my first run, some of the suspension leaf spring clips fell off. I'll show you those. Let's have a look. If you look here, there's one that fell off there, and I've had to secure the leaf spring with copper wire. Same again there, I've secured it with copper wire. And the ones that did stay on, I super glued in place. Okay, don't leave the hatches open on this tank. Obviously the paint job looks great, but if you open up the hatches, I should have my fingernails. It's an ugly grey colour, splattered paint around. Not very nice, but never mind. The tank commander himself, well, they say he's a painted commander. He's not actually painted, he's only partly painted, and it's been done poorly. He's got awful, the paintwork on his eyes are awful. Looks like he's got a serious thyroid problem there, overactive thyroid. Never mind. The top hatches I've had to paint in to make it look a bit more authentic. Also, there's moulded tools on the tank, which are moulded in with the actual body itself, and they've been sprayed over with camo paint. If you look here, for example, and here, well, what I did, I had to paint them in to make them stand out. What else was there? The tank accessories themselves wouldn't actually fit in any of the holes, these tank accessories, so I had to trim them down with a hobby knife to make them fit, and then I had to glue them in place to keep them on. So that's basically the shortcomings of the tank. In terms of the pros, well, I would say I like the paint job. It does look quite good generally. The actual tank itself, when I started to run it, I was quite surprised how smooth and responsive it was. It had very good manoeuvrability even over rough ground, so that did surprise me. And within a few minutes of running the tank, I must admit, it grew on me very rapidly, and I got to like it. I'd say now that this tank is my favourite tank. I definitely enjoy playing with it more so than the Bulldog. There's also it comes with a 2000 kilowatt hour battery pack, 9 battery pack, which gives reasonable runtime. There is a separate switch on here, if I'll show you at the bottom here, for the smoke unit, which is useful because the smoke unit is actually quite noisy as it's non-proportional, so at least you can turn it off. And there's the on-off switch for the tank, and also the volume control for the sound speaker. Okay. The tank itself does actually recoil when you fire a BB, which is only available on the newer version of Henlong tanks, the 2011 versions. I'll show you that now. Let's have a look. Let's start her up. You hear the engine sound. You'll hear the smoke. There it goes. That's a smoke motor. Quite a noisy item, which can be turned off. Okay, let's have a look then. Cannon fire. That's machine gun fire, sorry, should I say. I'm pretty sure that gun is not metal. I'm pretty sure it's plastic. Cannon fire. And also BB fire and recoils at the same time. You can see, watch this now. Which doesn't happen on most of the other Henlong tanks, the older versions. The smoke unit at the moment, although it's pumping, there's no smoke coming out. There is actually some oil in there, but it's super smoke oil, which I bought off another eBay person. And well, actually it doesn't work, not on my tank anyway. But when what I'll do, I'll tip that out. If I put the ordinary Henlong fluid in, that actually does smoke. You'll notice that there's aerial recognition flag on the back of the tank. That was something I printed on cotton fabric using a printer, which, although it's all right to look at, it's actually quite stiff fabric, but I've done it so it's reversible, and blue tack it on so you can have the an alternative display. And also I've printed off and made my own aerial tank flags as well. Okay, well we'll take it outside and give it a run and see how she goes.